Okay, welcome in, welcome in. This is Alex Wren with Lifetime Quantum Wellness. So excited to have you all here for the Wednesday Healing, Commanding Wealth of all areas of your life. So we're just waiting for a couple people to come into the circle on Zoom. If you would like to join us on Zoom, there is a link down below on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Periscope, go ahead and take a look. I do believe there's a link there. So go ahead and come on in, and we'll be getting started very soon. Muted. I'm on. Check. Where am I unmuted? Shit. All right, so excited for everyone to be able to join us. Come on in if it's your first time, come on in, grab a notebook. You're gonna have some things that are gonna come up for you. And we're so happy to be able to help you learn and grow in using this amazing process called the One Command. We're gonna get started here in just a few minutes. We're waiting for people to join the circle, and then we'll start with the transmission. Hey there, Richard. Is that Richard? I see an R, but then I see my name, which is a little weird. Must be Richard. Yeah. That the replay is available in the TOC group. You just have to scroll down a little bit, and sometimes in the group, if you go to the top-ish area where it says like most relevant, you click on that. You could say recent posts. So it might be like hidden if it's not like recently been commented on. But that's in there. If you can't find it, send me an email and I'll just send you a drink. Like, yeah. Yeah, no problem. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it would have Catherine's, and then mine, and then it would have Sue's, and then mine before that, so. Yeah. Per. All right. Just going to do my little intro here. It's all good, Richard. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. This is Alex Wren with Lifetime Quantum Wellness. I'm so excited to have everyone here for the circle and everyone here on the replay, coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. We're so excited to have you come in. I'm seeing people pop in, so thank you so much for joining. We got some really exciting subjects to talk about today. We're going to be talking about staying connected with your peace and joy and reprogramming your receptors. What does that even mean? And we're going to be talking about embracing change and how that can be something that we need to initialize as a thing that we're doing on a daily basis. And then outcome thinking. What is that? How can we be in the realm of outcome thinking? So we're so excited. We've got Sue here with us today. We've got Richard here with us today. So I'm so excited to have everyone with us. And I am just going to make sure I got my little backup going on the computer. Thank you for joining. How's everybody doing? We're here on Zoom. I'm Alex Wren with Lifetime Quantum Wellness. And we've got Sue and Richard here with us today. How you guys doing? Very good, very good. So in this circle, we do a little thing where we get a little bit of movement going. So we're going to be able to click into that in just a second here. And let's see here. So I wanted to go ahead, and what we do is we do a little bit of movement, just in our bodies so that our soul can really get engaged. And why that's important is because when our soul is engaged, then it's another essence of our greater capacity that is engaged, and we're able to dive deeper into past programs that need to shift, traumas that need to be awakened so that they can be dissolved and be able to actually be really coming through in our God self, in our true self, instead of what's in front of us. So we're going to go ahead and get our dancing going on, guys. So let me just get some music going. So we're just going to do a little bit of movement, just a little bit, just to get our energy up. And we're... Woo! All right, here we go. Woo! There we go. There we go. Let that little kid play. That's right. Been in there all day. You've been working so hard. We want to let the little kid play. We want to come out. We want to be acknowledged. Woo! All right. All right. There we go. All right. Thank you guys so much for engaging in that little bit of dance so that we can really just be alive and here and present. So thank you so much for that. And let's click in here. So right now we're going to start. I just want to start with us taking a breath. So let's do that on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lovely, lovely. So we do that because um, when we are taking a breath, a deep breath, a warm breath, we we do not feel stress. So anything stressful that might have been happening, we're actually letting that just zoop fall right out of us. So we're so thankful that we can do that, and so that's how I like to start. And in our in our little before we get into our yeehaws and our woes, I like to always let us think about how we're living our life. And the 2 points that I kind of make is: are we living our life in reaction, like reacting only 20 feet ahead? Or are we living our life in creation, more having that paintbrush where we can be able to be in the zone and be in the love and be in the mystery of life? So that's kind of what I wanted to start with, kind of always identifying as we're waking, as we're moving forward in life, how are we showing up? Because as we're showing up in creation, then more possibilities are available to us. And when we're open to more of the possibilities and letting go of past programming, that's when we are really utilizing the full capacity of the one command. Because the one command, as we know, is this amazing practice that we can use to stop a negative thought in its tracks and be able to put in place what we want, right? Be able to put in place the evidence that we want to see on the other side, that we can't even understand yet, that we have to trust and know that it's going to come. So that's the beauty around our amazing technique that we use. And so I just wanted to start with that and the excitement of how much we can transform our lives. So let me go ahead and share the screen so that we can click into our celebrations, because that's truly needed in our lives all the time, is being able to celebrate our our wins, even if it's a small win, even if it's a big win, because why not celebrate something that we can create as amazing loveliness, so that we can move forward and have that child in us have that celebration. So let's see here. We already danced. We did that. Thank you. Okay, so who has some good news to share? Some different awareness that maybe you are coming into. Oh, I think we have someone that's joining us. Bari's joining us. We'll let her pop on in. All right, there we go. And so what are things that maybe have stopped you that you're getting a different result? So I'll start. For me, I'm definitely celebrating having some work just from yesterday. It was the original idea of creating a list of different ways that I can show up with the school district. And because that was one of those little parts of my life that I was like, oh, it's summertime, it's quarantine, we're in the middle of this pandemic, I can focus on other things. And so it was this really wonderful transmission of probably ways that I can show up. Maybe out of the 5 waves, maybe 2 of them already exist, but then I have 3 original ideas that I can move forward on. So that's what I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating those original ideas. I'm celebrating them coming in with speed, because that's what the one command does. When we stop, we say, I don't know how. We're open. We're opening ourselves to the opportunity for another answer. So that's what I'm celebrating. And hi, Bari. Thanks for joining. And I can kind of see you this week. How are you, my dear? All right. Well, let's start with you. What kind of yeehaws do you have in your celebration of life today? Mm-hmm. Yes, you're beautiful for 29, my dear. I think I'm like 1 year older than you, and I don't know how that works, but okay. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Good. Yes. Yes. Well, that is lovely, Bari, because you are actually being open to something I said a couple weeks ago, where there are always people out there waiting for Bari. There's always clients out there waiting for Richard, or connections waiting for Richard. There's always someone, clients, program creators out there waiting for Sue. And there's always people and connections waiting for Alex. And there's always people and connections out there waiting for you, the you that's on the replay. And I'm so excited to be able to bring that into existence, because it's like we can swim upstream for a little while, but then we can realize, hey, we can do it the easy way and swim downstream. We can show up, and people are going to show up because we're in alignment. We're in the correct alignment with how we're supposed to be interacting in this world. So awesome. Sue, what are you celebrating? There's a lot of human salmons out there. I love it. Oh, I love Dr. Wayne Dyer. I love it. Definitely.
There is Alex Wren name.
I
Just so
know.
you
I
know, there
noticed
are two
that
of you
earlier. It
today,
was like,
Alex.
oh, I don't know why that happened. And it happened to Sue last week. I'm not really sure why. She said
I
she.
guess everybody wants to be Alex, huh?
It's because of your email, Alex. It's because of the link in your email.
Oh, hmm.
Mm.
Okay, I'll have to look at in the email that I send
Yeah.
personally.
Mm.
Okay, I'll have to look at that.
But there is something else I would like to say, if I can, if I may.
Yeah.
I'll say it anyway, whether you let me or not, Um,
Go ahead, Burry.
when Richard brought up Wayne Dyer, I remember he was telling that when he moved to Hawaii, he got rid of everything he had in his apartment. Do you remember this story? He gave up everything, furniture, pictures, everything, even clothes. I mean, he gave away almost everything. And I was thinking to myself, how can he do that? Like pictures of his kids and stuff like this, all kinds of memorabilia that takes up your energy and you feel connected to it. And instead of you taking care of the stuff, the stuff takes care of you and energetically.
Yeah,
Because if
I
I have
mean,
to hold on to something, that's not a good thing. I have to be able to let it go if I choose to, but not be really connected, attached strongly. And now I do this, and it's fun. Like, I don't need all those pictures for me to be alive, to feel good about myself. I can choose what I want to do, but I don't have to. And getting rid of clutter is very important for our well-being, for everything that we have in life. Just get rid of it, of clutter. Organize. You have to be organized so you can find fast what you are looking for and not look through stuff.
Yes, yes, because stuff is just stuff. Stuff is can be an overwhelm. You can put your
Yes,
state in a. You can put yourself in a state of overwhelm. So sometimes it's good to minimize the amount of things that you have. Um, like I could say, sure, I could minimize the way that I do this particular action, having 5 different screens in front of me right now. But it's not the way it's going to be done. You know, it's like it's not going to reach all of the ways of the world the way that I want it to be. So there's a certain amount of things that I would need to have be involved. So yeah, I mean, I kind of agree that, you know, we kind of need stuff in our lives, but at the same time we don't. You know, it's like it's just memorabilia of the past, and we are creatures of the now. And how is that stuff going to keep us continuing to run our old programs that we no longer need to
exactly.
run?
Yes, exactly.
So
That's the point.
yeah, yeah. All right, Sue, what would you like to celebrate today?
Well, Alex, today I'm celebrating that I have become aware of certain possibilities that I hadn't been for a while. And I'm celebrating the fact that that I think that's it. Also some very deep realizations that I've had about myself and about certain patterns that I've carried with me for a long time. And so I'm able to clear those out now. And so I'm very grateful for that too.
All right. Woo! We like being able to have that self-realization, right? It's like that thing that comes to us in the night that we're like, "Huh? Oh, I'll think about that later." And then it comes back and you're like, "Oh, that's why it came to me in the middle of the night because I was in theta." Great job, Sue. All right, Richard, what are you
Thank you.
celebrating today?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Um, well, I'm getting insight. I'm getting insight into certain ways of um, attitudes, some things that need to be shifted.
Okay.
Certain, yeah, certain ways of thinking in a certain limiting way, scarcity. I had an experience where I was sending this person a letter, and I thought that I was in touch with their situation and what they were going through. Maybe I was to some degree, but because I'm very psychic. But in part, I was realizing that I was projecting onto them, which I apologize for, but I was projecting onto them the part of me that's has a sense of scarcity still. And I was it was kind of funny in a way because I was like saying what, in my mind I'm thinking, oh, what I can help them with and da 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 da. And here I am thinking, wait a minute. And she gave me feedback and it says, wait a minute. Let's turn this around. Maybe it's really what I need to look at, inside of me. So you could say that was kind of an inside aha moment, maybe in a way. So it's kind of something to
Yeah.
celebrate about because anytime I get insight into things that need to shift, then that's a positive thing for me. So yeah,
Great.
that's to say
Well,
I
that's
celebrate
awesome
that.
because you're able to be fine tuning how you're showing up because you're trusting your greater capacity, you're trusting your energy and your intuition, which is, how your psychic powers come into play is trusting your intuition and
Yeah,
having that kind of like extrasensory acknowledgement, and you're able to be fine tuning that. So great job. That's wonderful.
thank you,
Woo!
thank you.
All right. So, who is ready for some transformation?
Always.
Always. All right. Awesome. So, before we formulate our commands, I just wanted to take us on a little learning journey. Um, so, I always want to be bringing us back to staying connected with our peace and joy. Because I want to bring in and help us remember that peace and joy that's our baseline. That's what we were born with. And that's our God self. That's our universal connection self. That's our source self. And when we are in these negative thoughts, those are things that have been learned. When we operate from our heart, we're then opening that greater sphere of influence than our thinking brain. Because when we're operating from our greater capacity, our source mind, we're using those unused portions. It's like our beta mind is using 15, 20% of our brain. And then when we drop the brain frequency, that's when we're able to be really connecting in with that greater capacity, that light frequency of luminosity. And, we have to be able to let go of those negativities that have been taught to us because we've just learned them. And it was, maybe by a mistake that we actually started to learn these particular things. So, when we activate our internal forgiveness, it's actually creating that space that we've been in this battle. It takes space to have an internal battle on the inside of our brain or physiology or neurology. So it's going to create space for that that greater capacity to be able to fit into our lives more easily. Because, yeah, sure, we unwind and let go and rewind, but, there's still some programs there that maybe we didn't address. So being able to be in the state of forgiveness for yourself. I forgive you, Alex, for, taking on that kind of thinking that puts you in the state of non-trust. I forgive you, Alex. I forgive you for doing that. And being in that state of forgiveness in yourself. And forgiveness is not necessarily a transaction for an apology from somebody else. I want to say that because it's not really how it works. You're creating that forgiveness. And even if you've never even say, hey, I forgive you for how you mistreated me, straight to that person, it doesn't matter. Because once you start to do that, hey, I forgive you, the person in me, let's just call it, I'm going to put the spotlight on me. And I'm not going to use names, but I'm going to say, the ex partner in me that totally derailed me and totally abused me emotionally. I forgive you, that ex in me, for doing that to me. And that frees up space because then we're not wandering around with that, oh, I wish they wouldn't have done that way. Oh, I wish they wouldn't have, I wish this, I wish that, I wish this could have been different. Well, guess what? You were running that program and they were answering. So when we forgive, it frees up space in ourselves to be able to be more attuned to our alignment for our greater good. So great. Let's talk about reprogramming receptors. And we're talking about receptor sites in the brain. In Candace Pert's book, The Molecules of Emotion, she expounds upon how our body, mind, and brain send emotional thoughts to the receptor sites throughout every cell of our body. We're all atoms. Every single cell is sending this electronic signal. And when we do that, each time we have a thought, it's packed with an emotion, such as love, such as greatness, such as fear, or poverty, or no money, debt, a sense of overwhelm or depression, or happiness and joy, and amazing wonder for life, and true spiritual connection. All of those emotions have receptor sites that are waiting They're waiting. And each time the cells divide, each time our DNA duplicate, then those receptor sites are sitting there saying, okay, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that hit. Where is it? And if we don't start to redesign how we are, training our brain and being aware of our positive and negative thoughts, or our supportive and unsupportive thoughts, then our receptor sites start to get addicted to what that strongest emotion is. And usually, sometimes, the way we've been programmed is the negative ones. The negative ones show up more often because that's our operational brain, our beta mind, or our alpha mind. More so our beta mind. And, I've said before, that's our sphere of influence. That's our comfort zone. We've been programmed this way. We've been programmed to keep ourselves safe. And we can redesign and create more prosperous receptor sites in the same manner that we've created these less resourceful receptor sites. And if we don't start to understand our programs, and we start to pull back the veil on these hard things that have been causing this depression, then that's when we start to actually become addicted to that way of thinking, and the receptor sites, they start to actually close off to anything that is not that, and including nutrition. So you could say, if all of these receptor sites are closed off to nutrition, what do you think that's going to do to the organ that they're surrounding? We're not going to get the best nutrition that we can into all of those cells and all of those atoms. And that's where disease starts from, and transmogrification of cells. That's when a cell divides and it's broken. It's no longer a whole cell, it's broken, and it can't reduplicate whole because it's degraded away so many times. So in our first response, our emotional programs and thoughts are unconscious. It's our ground of being. It's our baseline, right? That's where our feelings, our actions, and our thinking, that's how we're responding, because that's what's in front of us. The world is seeing us, and we're seeing the world, but what we don't really actually realize, and the four of us do, is that there is this veil, there's this barrier in front of us, and that's our unconscious programs. So the world is actually seeing us through this kind of haze of our programs, right? And so the only ingredient required to be able to start to shift this is the desire to do so. Super simple, right? Just having the desire to do so starts our shift. We have the ability to start to rebuild our receptors. For instance, if chaos and financial emergencies are, the way you operate, then your addictive thinking is going to resist stability of financial well-being. Or if sadness and depression are our first way of thinking, then again, those receptor sites are going to resist the thoughts of making money easily, receiving cash with joy, having a project fall into place just like that, right? They're not going to be open to it. We could think that thought all we wanted, but until we retrain that receptor to then be transferring different atoms filled with the positive or supportive programming, then that's when those are going to change. And when you go to theta by connecting with your source mind, you can command that your receptor sites are closed or start to close to your poor thinking, and rebuild new receptor sites to your receiving riches and abundance and easy project creation and prosperity. And I like to, it was my 10th, no, it must have been 7th grade English teacher. He had this huge jade, oh, I have one. Hold on. He had this huge version of this. It was huge. It was like the whole corner of the room. This is a jade plant. And he said, think of these as dendrites or receptor sites. And how do you make dendrites grow? You water them or you feed them. So how do we feed our receptor sites to create growth and create constant new growth and have your receptor sites that's old, that's no longer working, be able to go back down and be recycled into the earth to create nutrients for good, to draw up in our roots, to be grounded and be able to bring in that good. So thank you, Mr. Oh, what was his name? Mr. Gish, for that beautiful example of dendrites and how they grow and how we can continue to bring that image of I want to make things grow in my mind, in my neurology. So that's how we really get started with that, is understanding and breaking down those programs that our receptor sites are addicted to, so that we can start to get them addicted to a new way of thinking, and we can have new ones grow, and those other ones can close off, and they're closed forever. They're no longer going to grow because it's not we're not open to it. It's not a program that we're running anymore. It's done. It's served its time. We can thank it even. Thank you so much for keeping me safe all of this time. And now we're going to step into something even more exciting, something even more amazing, right? So that's what I wanted us to really start to think about for how we're going to formulate our commands. And we'll get into embracing change in just a second, and outcome thinking a little bit after we choose our commands, because I think that will help us to be able to really kind of understand, and maybe if we need to shift our command, that's what we'll do. So some of the commands that really kind of came to me in in my thinking today and this week, when I was going through, creating what we're going to do and how we want to be able to create forward movement and create transformation. So, some of the ones, and we can talk specifically about receptor sites. I don't know how I close my receptor sites to fearful poverty thoughts. I only know it is so now. And I don't know how I open new receptor sites to abundance and prosperity and caring and forward movement and connection. And then another command that came to me is, I don't know how I have faith that good is on its way. On the way. It's on the way. It's coming. Or maybe even shifting that into, I don't know how that I have faith that I am my good now. I only know it is so now. So that's a couple commands that I thought we could start from. And I guess I wanted to touch a little bit on embracing change. And it goes a little bit into the same what I was talking about with the receptor sites. Because when we create a wall to defend us or protect us, we have to be able to start to take that down brick by brick. If we just go right down to the bottom brick and say, oh, here's the problem, and then the whole wall is going to fall down onto us. And what happens when that happens in our body? Well, sickness may happen. Emotional trauma may just like overrun our body. It's the same of like if we... I just forgot the analogy I was going to say. But if we... it'll probably come back to me. If we like dove down to the bottom of the ocean and we just tried to, just go out the airlock right out without like being repressurized, our whole body would we could die. And that's the same of if we try to not take the baby steps we need to understand our programming and really start to, you know, understand what that wall is that's in front of us, or what that barrier is, and start to, you know, peel it back like an onion, right? We're made of layers, right? So, you know, we can know, no longer do we have to operate in our small circles of influence like our beta mind. We can use this universal connection to operate at a universal sphere of influence, and we can go ahead and begin to change our beliefs and have a conscious, simple, and direct, easy way, and be able to change the meaning of the story, because it's just a story. We're just telling ourselves this story over and over again, and you know, we have the pen, we can cross it out, and we can start to write anew. So when we are when we remember that this is not our truth over here, and that we can step into our truth with the one command and commanding our wealth in every area of our life, that's what's the amazing thing about this process, because the universe is so much more forgiving than our beta mind. And how amazing to be in that support, that foundation of love, that enlightenment frequency than the lower vibrations. So that's, I think, where we're going to stop right there, and then we can be able to come back to our outcome thinking. So let's formulate some commands, guys. What did you think you wanted to formulate today, or what did you come to the circle wanting to work on? Richard?
I like what you said before. I mean, everything you've been saying basically, but it's like what you said before about closing off the receptors to, I forgot how you worded it, but it was about, you know, the receptor sites, and about closing them to
poverty thinking, or negative stories.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm familiar with a little bit with Candace Bird. I know what you're talking about, and it's you know, anyway, yeah, I like that idea of kind of commanding along those lines of closing down those receptor sites to fear and scarcity thinking, and commanding for being open my receptor sites to prosperity thinking. Yeah, you know, just use a generalization right now, but that's, you know, the gist of it.
Yeah, so we can do a combination of closing and opening in the same command.
Yeah.
Great. I will do that. Sue?
Okay, Alex, so just a couple of things. The one thing is that instead of our good being on its way, that it's here already, that we're living in it, that we're being in it, that we're breathing in it. Yes. Because on its way means tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. We only have now. So,
you're right.
So that was that piece of it. And then in terms of the receptor sites, there's just one more thing that I normally add in when I do the commands, when I do that. And that is close the receptors to whatever you don't want, open new receptors to what you do want, but also open to a new state of being. And so I think the new state of being, of living within the good, and that being the reality, I like that one. So I'll go with your commands for today, but close to
excuse me,
close to poverty and negative and sort of unsupportive thinking. Open to prosperity and well-being, and then open to a new way of being in which I live in the state of my good constantly.
I like that. I live in the state of my good constantly. That's beautiful. Bari, how about you, my dear?
Well, I accept everything that you guys said before. I mean, I liked what you said originally, and then what Richard added to this. and of course what Sue added too. I am only wondering if when you let go of something, don't you have to completely trash it, smash it, burn it, so it doesn't come back? Because I had a session, a hypnosis session this weekend, and one of the participants, she didn't do that. And I felt like it was needed. So I'm not sure if it was my feeling personally or it is important, but I think I personally need to make sure that whatever I let go, it's not only let go and it's floating somewhere. I just want to let it go and be gone completely into the air, and I don't know.
Yeah,
Make
it's not
sure
it's
it
not going
doesn't
to go
come back.
into the air. We're going to have it go down into the earth so they can be recycled.
Yeah.
It's energy.
Right.
Energy never stops or starts. It is. So
I know.
we want it to
Right.
be able to be recycled for something that we can use. So in the notion of like needing to smash or burn, sure, if we have something physical, like if we're going to do a ceremony, like a fire ceremony, but inside our body, we don't necessarily need to smash or burn part of our DNA to make it no longer playing that program. We just have to understand what that particular program is. Where did this program come from? Did it come from our tribal teachings, and it's something that's ingrained in us at a very deep level that we need to do a little bit more work on, to be able to fully let go of it down into our roots, and be able to unhook the hooks that might be holding on really hard because it's a core program, right? So I think that is an area just for a little bit of discovery. Is this program that you're trying to rewrite, does it need to have more awareness brought to it so that you can dive into it more? As well as being able to understand that you can replace, and bringing in what you want. So what would you want on the other side of letting go of these programs?
Can I just interrupt just
Yeah.
for a minute? Barry, you can think of it more in terms of like if you're sending electrical current to a light, you don't have to smash the light to turn the switch off. As soon as you've turned the switch off to that the current to that light, it's done. It's gone. It's off. And if you never plug that light back in, it'll remain off. So it doesn't have to be. You don't go around smashing the lights in your house every night to turn them off when you go to sleep. Simply turn them off, and then that's it. If you left your house and you never came back, and you never turned that current back on, those lights would never go back on.
You're right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. So I just wanted to throw that in there because it doesn't. Yeah. So it as soon as you turn off that current that's feeding that pattern or that behavior, then as long as you don't feed it or you don't turn that current back on, it's off. It's off forever. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
So to your question, Alex, I would like to see growth, love, joy, bliss, ecstasy. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. And thank you, Sue. I appreciate when you help the thought process expand. Always appreciated. Okay. All right. So I just want to rattle off a couple questions that we can ask ourselves about the commands that we have inside, so that we can start to then identify what that evidence is on the other side of our command. We're doing our command. We want this manifestation to come in, but what's the evidence on the other side? So the first question is, what is the positive outcome you want? And moving towards language instead of the problem, or instead of instead of the problem of not what you want, right? Is the outcome self-maintained? For example, with your personal control, or does it have another person's input that needs to be a part of that? In what context does this outcome, do you want this outcome? Where, when, with whom? Do you want this in other situations? Right? How would you know that you've got it, that it's shown up? How would you know? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? What's the evidence? What would an outside observer be able to see as evidence? Okay, these are all just things I want you to think about to be able to formulate that evidence. What is important to you about achieving this outcome? What will achieving it do for you? What will happen if you get it when you want it, right? Not outside some other timeline that you're like, oh, I hope it doesn't happen this way. No, what is, how is it going to show up, and what's going to happen if you get it in the time that you want it? And what is the likely effect on others when you achieve this? And is the outcome a representative of who you are and who you want to be? Is it worth what it takes to get it? What resources do you need, both physically and mentally? And what action steps can you commit to? Especially that first little baby step. What's that action step? That's what it's all about, right? Not getting overwhelmed with, I got to take this huge step, right? I'm going to take a baby step, and then I'm going to take another baby step, and then I'm going to take another baby step, then I'm going to take another baby step. Oh my God, I'm halfway up the stairs. Wow. And that feels great. And celebrating after each of those little baby steps. And then in outcome thinking, in framework of that, I want you to be focused on the evidence of achievement and owning it. Owning that experience of that outcome being under your control, and that how you can initiate or maintain that forward movement of outcome. And then time comes into play here, and making sure you're not making an unrealistic time goal that your brain checks out and it goes, yeah, right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Okay, so those are outcome thinking, and I wanted to just have those sit with you as you're thinking about your command, so that all of those answers can be answered when we go. You guys ready to play? All right. All right, let me get some music going for us, because we are amazing human beings. And we need some music. All right. Begin to picture, visualize, or imagine you're coming into your body. You're feeling your lungs inflate with air. Imagine you're understanding how your body is holding itself, where your hands are, how your feet are on the ground, uncrossed, flat on the ground. And start to imagine roots coming out the bottom of your feet and having them go deep, deep into the ground, deep into the earth, and wrapping around all of the amazing minerals and love that Mother Earth has for us, the rubies and sapphires and amethysts and topaz and tiger's eye and all the amazing gems that are down there just ready to give us love and support and appreciation and alignment. We're going to tap in and wrap our roots around those alignments, or around those amazing stones, and feel the alignment of being in control of our receptor sites and being in full support of our true being, and having that amazing appreciation for life, that love, that ecstasy, that joy, being in alignment with that wonderfulness, and start to draw up that pulsation of the earth. We're drawing up the pulsation, we're bringing it back into our feet, we're bringing it back into our torso, connecting it up with our heart, and we're going to encompass our entire body with this loving earth energy, this amazing pulsation from the earth, from Mother. And we're going to zoom into our heart, and we're just going to count our blessings. We're going to count all of the amazing things that we have in our life that is achieving goodness. Anybody that we appreciate in our life, and maybe just sending them that thought of blessing. Bless you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. You are amazing. You are always there for me. Thank you. Thank you. And let's take a deep breath and expand out as we exhale 360 degrees around us with that love, those blessings, those true spirits of goodness. And begin to take another deep breath and expand out 360 degrees around us, creating a larger sphere of influence of love frequency around you. And now we're going to picture, visualize, or imagine a golden beam of light coming out the top of our head. A golden beam of light. As we're rolling our eyes up, we're going to activate our theta brainwave with the physical manner that we would be doing when in our sleep states. We're going to roll our eyes up as we're imagining that we're looking back to our tailbone. And as we're rolling our eyes up, to having that rapid eye movement, we're going to be following that beam of light out of our head, out of the ceiling, out of the room, out of the house, out of the atmosphere, out into the amazing planetary systems of the Milky Way, and flying and picking up speed now as we punch through the end of the Milky Way, and we're flying in these millions and billions of galaxies and trillions of different beings and spirits and amazing auras and amazing planetary systems that have so many answers that we can't even think of a question to. And we're flying very fast now, and we get enveloped into this black void of space, just as a warm blanket wraps around us, this black void of space. And as we're in this black void, we start to see this like light coming through. Maybe it's a curtain that we can then pull back, and we can punch through into this white luminosity of all that is our complete goodness. This is our multi-conscious self. This is our spirit being. This is the amazing you that is connection with the eternal you, your God self, your source mind. And as we are here, we can start to state our commands. We can start to layer in these amazing manifestations. I don't know how. I have all the guidance and support I need to move forward with great speed and actions that create momentum. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. And I don't know how. I close my receptor sites to fearful poverty thoughts. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. I don't know how. I open new receptor sites to cash riches, prosperity, projects flowing to me, amazing ability for joy. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am abundantly fulfilled. And I don't know how. I live in the state of my good constantly. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. And we're going to expand out, expand into an idea even greater than these amazing manifestations that we've just put into the universe to have action taken place by the universe for our greater capacity. Expand. Maybe you see images, maybe you feel emotions, maybe you hear textures, if that even makes sense. But we're in this state of expanse in the universe, in different dimensions, asking for answers to come to us. I don't know how I am safe in my new way in the world. I only know that I am so now. Thank you, and I am gratefully fulfilled. I don't know how I am stepping into new programs of good, love, joy, bliss, and excitement and ecstasy. I only know I am walking in these new abilities now. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. And I don't know how I am safe when I am connected to Source. I only know it is so now. Thank you, and I am so gratefully fulfilled. And expand out. Expand into an ideas even greater than that. Even greater than these amazing manifestations. Expand greater than good. Expand greater than ecstasy. Expand greater than safe. What's greater than safety? Expand into more than just a new way. Expand into the way. I don't know how. I am bending time to my benefit now. I only know it is so now. Thank you. I am gratefully fulfilled. Expand out. Expand. I don't know how. I am operating in my diamond connection to the universe. I only know that it is so now. I'm shining light through each of these amazing facets. I only know it is so now. Thank you. I'm gratefully fulfilled. And let's expand out. Expand. Let this just sit in expanse, this openness, this ability to have the universe and all of its trillions and billions and extra amount of planetary systems and beings, letting them bring answers to us. And now go ahead and start to bring all of this beautiful expanse in towards our spirit being, your guide that brought you here. And turn around And with this amazing tail of manifestation following behind you, coming back down the beam of light, come back down into the millions and trillions of galaxies, and flying very fast now, coming, pushing into the Milky Way. There goes Jupiter, back into the Earth, back down the beam of light, back down into the atmosphere, back down into your house, back down into your body. And we're just going to start to unwind. We're going to zoom into our DNA and we're going to ask it to unwind. We're going to receive this amazing new manifestation with gratitude and thank you, it is so. And unwinding anything that's not in alignment with this new state of being, this amazing oneness with good, this amazing oneness with joy and ecstasy, and our new receptor sites growing at a constant rate, our new receptor sites becoming addicted to our good. Unwind that it's unwind our old receptor sites, unwind our old way of thinking, unwind this old state of being, and just let it go back down to our roots, back down at the earth. Mother Earth can recycle it. She can make it new. We're going to let go of these programs that are no longer serving us. We're going to let go of these programs that are not in alignment with this new state of being coming in. And we're going to rewind this new amazing state of being, these new possibilities, these new limitless abilities, these new abilities for our way, which is the way to be in the world. These new abilities of having faith without knowing. These new abilities of having unexpected cash and projects and openings happen and show up for us in the perfect time. Rewind these new receptor sites, these new cash-rich receptor sites, these new receptor sites of prosperity and love and joy and ecstasy, these new receptor sites of overabundance of celebration. Rewind. And now we're going to re-ground into this amazing state that we are in. We're going to re-ground. We're going to go back down our roots, maybe bringing down more roots, expanding our roots down into the earth, right next to the core of the earth, feeling that heat, feeling that gravitational pull, feeling that beaten drum of the earth. Feel that pulsation coming up your roots, feeling your stability of keeping you right where you need to be, feeling your stability of you are operating exactly the way you should be, feeling that stability of being integrated, feeling that stability of the loving alignment of the earth. Rewind. Got our doggy saying rewind too. Yes. Rewind. And when you're ready, come back into the room. Open your eyes. Start to see some of the colors. I've got a picture of balloons here that you can see. You can see the colors, see the red, see the green, see the blue, see the yellow, the gold. Here we are. And just take time to be in your integration. Take time to allow that to reintegrate tonight. Maybe do some journaling as your new original ideas and your new body shows up, right? Wonderful, wonderful. And then our wonderful seventh step that Catherine has so beautifully brought in is inspired action, and to be ready for that inspiration to come in, maybe in a way that you never thought it would be. Maybe while you're cooking your dinner, and your dinner all of a sudden turns into a vision of an idea, just random. You're sweeping the ground, and all of a sudden, as you sweep, you start to hear the brush, and it brings this vision into your mind. Anything. It could be anything, you guys. The universe works in crazy, amazing ways, right? So be open to that, right? So thank you guys so much for being here today, and allowing your commands to help shape the group and the community, the greater expanse of the community that is, here on the replay, or that is getting this through osmosis. So thank you guys so much. This has been a really fun journey that we were able to take. And one thing that we do during this circle is we do a little bit of affirmation. So what we do is, because this is something that we used to do in the physical circles, we would say eye to eye, left eye to left eye. I would say, I absolutely support and know and see that this is happening for you. So we're going to do that for each of us. So I'll start with Sue. Sue can go for Richard. Richard can go for Bari, and Bari can go for me, just so that we're affirming our manifestations coming into fruition. So here's what we say. Sue, I absolutely know and witness your command being activated in you now. And Sue, I see you walking in your constant state of good and your new manifestations of joy and new projects now. I only know it is so for you now.
Thank you, Alex. Richard, I absolutely know and witness your command being activated in you now. I see you walking in prosperity, in joy, in the fulfillment of not only your dreams, life as a dream, your dream, but also the fulfillment of your project now, and I fully support you.
Barry, I absolutely know and witness your command being activated in you now. I see you walking in peace, in joy, in fulfillment, and on purpose. I see you walking in a new manifestation now. So it is.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Alex, I absolutely know and witness your command being activated in you now. I see you walking in joy, in peace, in greatness, in ecstasy, in amazement, in love, and everything else that you just wish and see yourself in. So I see all of it now in your manifestation. I wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you, Bari. Oh, well, that's the way I like to wrap up a circle. One additional thing that I wanted us to do is if we could post what the commands that we worked on today that you attach to, that really are working for you to shift what you're doing and create that state of goodness. I want you to post that command in our TOC group on Facebook. Or for you that's watching on the replay, wherever you're watching, go ahead and post that command in the comments section. Because when we share our commands, that could be something that someone else was thinking, but not really knowing exactly how to formulate that. So it's a really wonderful way to help the group grow. And as it says here, where energy goes, energy grows. So we want to be in that state of expanse. We want to be in that goodness. So that's how I wanted to wrap up our circle. And so, you guys can do that in your own time. And I thank you so much for being here with me. And this is always a fun way to really be in how we can shift and change and creating that amazing goodness for the world. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thanks.
God bless you.
It was awesome.
And
it was really awesome.
I will be on again next week, and I'm a little theta drunk right now, or I would say let's dance it out, because I like to engage the I like to engage our soul one more time. So I think I can do that. I think I've got that up and ready. Here we go. All right, you guys. So as you leave, we're going to go ahead and dance it out. And here we go. So here's some lovely kind of, here we go. All right, there you go. Thank you guys so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Because we're dancing like nobody cares. We're dancing like it doesn't matter, right? All right, you guys, be well. I witness your mastery and your true success. So I will see you next week when we have lovely Sue's commanding healing circle, and we will be there. We will all be there. I'm so excited. And so have a wonderful week. Be well and be safe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great week.
You too.
Thanks. You
Thank
too.
you.
You can. Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone that joined us here. I'm so thankful for all of the amazing abilities that we can bring in through this practice. And we have to remember that we can change anything that we want. We have the ability, and it's a remembrance of our greater capacity. So be in that peace, be in that joy, be in that true capacity for good, and watch out, because it's going to show up. It's going to show up for you. It's going to show up for many because of the shift that you're making. So this is Alex Wren with Lifetime Quantum Wellness. I'm going to be signing off here, wishing you well, witnessing your true mastery and discovery of your greatness. So take care until we meet again. Bye-bye for now. And always be operating from gratitude, love, and joy. And just wanted to check back in. We will have another circle coming up here next week. That'll be coming into play next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's going to be right here, live streamed on Facebook, live stream on YouTube, live stream on Periscope. We're so thankful for you to join us. And if you'd like to be a part of this meeting, you can click the Zoom registration link and be able to come in and get some help, and we can play together. So I'm so excited to be able to bring these teachings to you, bring this wonderful transmission to you, and I witness your mastery. Be well.